Hi everyone, Samantha here with Crafty Sammy. Today I am going to show you my current crochet project that I'm working on. The pattern is from Yarnspirations and it's the OGee Stitch Crochet Afghan. And it is done using this BERNAT velvet yarn in 3 different colors. We have indigo, teal, and white. And I wish you guys could feel this blanket. It's so soft. It's probably gonna be my softest blanket that I've ever made and my favorite. The stitches is coming together really nicely. It's going to be heavy. It's gonna have some nice weight to it, and it's just luxuriously soft. I'm really enjoying it, and the pattern is actually really easy to follow. So I just printed off what the pattern is. It's really clear to follow, and they provide the pattern chart. And this actually really helped. I haven't used a chart before, but just to understand where things are going on the curves was really helpful. Now, if you have just recently started crocheting and you're still new and you're still figuring out how to count stitches and identify stitches, I wouldn't recommend using this yarn. It is harder to see the stitches than just a standard, you know, like a Red Heart or even a BERNAT. You know, they're more basic type of yarn. Any specialty yarn tends to be a little harder to read or see the stitches that you're working on. So if you're really new, I would just be a little cautious that it might be a bit harder to count the stitches. Now, if you really want to use it, please go ahead and use it. You're spending money on yarn, you should get what you want, but just don't get too frustrated. Also, don't let it get knotted, because as soon as there's a knot in there, it is like impossible to get the knot out. So if you see one forming, don't pull, be careful, just, you know, fix it before you cause that knot. So this is just working in two rows of each color to build these little bubbles or little ridges. And you're working in the back loops. So as I was coming down this way, I was working in the back loops only of the double crochets. And that really gives it kind of this more textured look going down. If I have it the right way, there we go. So this gives it the textured look. I had it folded the wrong way, there we go, of it coming down. And I think that's really sharp. So it'll kind of sit that way, and then the pattern also has tassels. So like I said, it's really easy to work. And the hook I am using, buried in here, is just a 5.5, and I got the Susan Bates ergonomic hook. And I just purchased this full kit from Yarnspirations because I thought that would just make it so much easier. It's nice just to get the right amount of yarn, have the pattern, and I just needed something to get to free shipping. So I just got this hook so I could have the free shipping. So what's nice about this stitch is this pattern is it really is just working slip stitches and double crochets, and often the double crochets are in the back loop only. And that's really all that's happening. There's a few single crochets in here, but mostly just slip stitches and double crochets. And this yarn moves through your fingers really nice. And it really looks sharp. And I like the colors that they selected. I had a little bit of trouble getting this indigo. No, this is the teal, sorry, this teal. Whenever I went to go buy the pattern or buy the kit, it was out of stock. But there was like a blush that I thought would look really nice with the indigo and the white, but I ended up getting the teal, and it is coming together really nicely. So here's some more details about the yarn. I will add the link to the kit in the description below. You can get this yarn on Amazon as well. I will include the links. However, I don't think it's the best priced from Amazon. I think you can get it better priced from Yarnspirations. Now the shipping, unfortunately, from Yarnspirations can be a little high, but if you can get free shipping or maybe check your local craft store, I do think it is a little cheaper there, but I will include those links. And I don't think they have all of the colors, but let me know what you guys are working on right now. I'm really enjoying this. I think I'm gonna give this away as a gift. I almost have stopped working on all my other stuff because I really am enjoying working away on this and having it come together. I know so many people get frustrated making a blanket because it feels like it takes so long, but it really does. You feel so accomplished when you make a blanket. I'm trying to crochet this at the same time as I'm chatting with you guys, but there's a lot of counting of stitches. So to make this ridge, you have to do 10 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also, so if you haven't worked with this yarn before, you really just need to keep your tension. Mine probably isn't the best throughout. This is my first time using this velvet yarn, but it's easy to have the loops get a bit loose, and they do pop out, especially just because you're working in the back loops of a lot of the double crochets. They do end up popping out a little bit. So you just want to make sure you're watching that tension so you're not having anything popping out, because you don't want it to get snagged later on when you're using it, or if the person you are gifting it to is using it. So those were just a few slip stitches, and then we're skipping a couple, and then we're just doing a single crochet. So if you're interested in getting this kit, or you'd like to see a better how-to video of how to follow the pattern for this stitch, if you've purchased it, if you're a little hesitant to try it, let me know in the comments and I can make a how-to video about completing this stitch. I am looking forward to trying to make tassels. I haven't made tassels for a blanket before. What the worst part is, just like changing any color, the weaving of the ends is gonna be my nightmare. I try to grab them in and bring them in as much as I can, but just because it's, for these ones that have kind of like the up and down, you end and start. It's not always where the last row ends and starts, because I kind of end up with a stitch here and then this is over here. Anyway, I'm gonna be weaving in ends for a whole decade when I finally finish this blanket. Sometimes what I do to make that process less painful is I take a break from the crocheting and just weave in 20 or so ends, and that way when you actually come time to finishing the project, it's not so bad. Another important thing to note about the velvet yarn is it doesn't have any give. So you can see here, I have done, because this row ends in a slip stitch, and I have done my slip stitch too tight for a few of these rows. I realized it luckily and have kind of lessened up here, but you can see that it's pulling. So it's kind of curving instead of lying flat like this other end lies nice and straight. This end is pulling. So make sure that you're not, and make sure you're watching your stitches. Don't have it too loose, but don't end up tight, because there is no give to this yarn. Some other cotton yarn, like when you make toques, has a little bit of give. This doesn't. So just be careful of that. I'm happy I caught that when I did, just so I can make sure I fix it going forward. It was only on a few rows. It's fine. Like I said, I'm gonna give this as a gift, so I'm okay with having that like that. And I'll just fix it going forward. Also really tricky to go back once you change so many colors so much, especially with this type of yarn. It's hard to undo those slip stitches and open it. I have to cut it. There's a couple things to watch for this yarn. I really enjoy working with it. I highly recommend it for blankets. I think I'll do a lot more blankets in it now rather than just more typical yarn, just because it is so much softer. And that's really what you want out of a blanket. I love making blankets because it's just so cozy. And I'm constantly underneath the blanket. So thanks for checking out today's video. Please leave me any questions about this pattern, the yarn down below. If you have, let me know what you're working on. Maybe you have multiple crochet projects on the go. I am making this blanket, as well as I am crocheting and loom knitting toques to donate. I was given a bunch of yarn to do that. Check out some of my other videos if you're interested. So there's a lot on the go here, but it's COVID and there's nothing else to do. And we just got, I think, about 7 centimeters of snow overnight. So the roads are a disaster. So I'm not going anywhere. So I might as well just sit around, crochet, diamond paint, cross stitch, whatever I'm in the mood for. I have a puzzle sitting next to me that I need to work on. But thanks for checking out today's video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.